Signal lights are up again at Freeman Station. The installation of a 30-foot signal tower is yet another phase in the decades-long restoration of the historic Burlington Junction.
This really completes the restoration of the station on the front, on the exterior, and it's the last major piece to go into operation here. The significance is that the signal tower has the blades on the top which control the train movements. So the engineers would see those blades and they would know what the signal meant. And that would keep the trains separate and apart so they didn't crash.
Freeman Station is the only building in the city that has been recognised by both the city and the province for its historical significance. It is the last surviving Grand Trunk railway station in the country. Known as Burlington Junction, it was our station stop from the turn of the century to 1988.
Freeman Station is historically significant because at one time there were 3 stations in Burlington, and today there's only 1 station, and that's this one that's preserved. The other 2 were torn down many, many years ago when the railway had no more use for them. This one, the railway decided that they weren't going to get rid of it until they had to, and then when they did, they sold it to the city of Burlington. So it's a very important station because this is where the farmers shipped their produce from, and the produce from here left and went to places like Toronto, Montreal, New York City, and some of it even went overseas. This is where a lot of the soldiers from Canada went to war, and unfortunately many of them never came back. But the people from Europe arrived at this station, and this was their first introduction to Canada and to a new home. And it was this station that they got off at, and then they formed their own lives here.
An effort to save the station after it was decommissioned in 1988 was stalled, but in 2005 the Friends of Freeman Station once again took up the project.
The original architecture is from about 1900, and this station was built in 1906. One of the signature features of a Grand Trunk station of this kind is the oval window on the west end of it. And many of the Grand Trunk stations feature that oval window. The design of it allowed for passenger service, it allowed for freight shipments, it allowed for express telegrams, and it was a main part of the community for communications and transportation both. We've put a basement underneath this station, which it never had, and that's allowed us to have a better building all around. But what we've also done is built a model railway downstairs that people can see what things used to be like in the village of Freeman years ago.
Freeman Station's restoration is almost complete. It should be regularly open to the public by the end of the year. For more information, visit the website. For Halton News, I'm Tina McEwen.